All right, what's up, everybody? Gotta just put out a quick update video, see where we're at. The car's running. Ignore the little wiring plug that we have here. That's just for the supercharger at the moment. I gotta cut those back and trim that. Ignore that for the moment. But we are completely set up. Car runs. Car's tuned pretty well. We're working on the final. So I thought I would just quick go over the current setup and where we're at before we go to the bigger pulley, or smaller pulley, excuse me, higher PSI. So where we ended up with on the radiator, give that a little look. So we ended up with a nice, I mean, it's close. It's definitely close down in there. I'm in between ribs. It clears, it doesn't touch it. Don't worry about it, guys. Past that, we just kind of kicked up and over. Got a nice tight bend here. We ended up with, I cut this out of another piece that I got from AutoZone. Metal radiator hose from Mishimoto, along with their coupler. Had to kick it in a little bit of an angle so we could dodge that pulley. But we're on. Hyde is going to get me the correct spacer package so we can get rid of this washer and be complete and everything again. So we have cold air intake. We have our MAF moved. We didn't have to do any rewiring. We just had to actually, cut the loom a little bit so we could drag it out from between and get this line down here to run through. So we have the MAF here. So we have a 3.5-inch Brimmy MAF. We're stepped down to a 3-inch. I have a little nipple here, but I'm going to delete this. I was using this for an original vacuum source. It was not strong enough, so I didn't have any brake booster or anything like that. So what we did is we moved our vacuum source to here at the end of the intake. I may still have to move that one more time eventually, maybe back to I was thinking back to these notches back here. But for now, that's our vacuum source. We have a check valve, and we are then going around to our vacuum block. I installed a vacuum block to kind of make things easier in the end for my EGR valves, and anything that needed vacuum, you can get it from here. So we have vacuum then going to our catch can. Catch can is pulling vacuum from our manifold, or our crankcase. So we've got vacuum on crankcase, that helped. We got vacuum again coming off. You'll see on the back side of this line back here, this line is running to the brake booster, so we have full brakes. You'll also see down here I have teed in. This is off of a vacuum line that's going to the, I think that's the EGR valve. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head which valve that is, but it's part of the evap system. From there, we have this line coming off of here is our boost gauge. So that's our boost line. I'm going to tuck it a little better. All that's going to get finished still, just finishing touches, but that's our boost line at the moment. Coming from there down into the supercharger, we are direct line in currently, and you can see that our hoses are, what we did is, we are using silicone hoses for now. I'm going to change this up when we go to an intercooler and we wrap around. But for now, what I've done is reinforced the inside of these silicone with another pipe, so these won't actually collapse on themselves. And other than that, we have coming off of the bottom of the supercharger down here, that's the coupler coming off the bottom of the supercharger down there, heading to our throttle body. We relocated our throttle body, rotated it around. I did end up cutting off the what would have been the throttle body heating coil nipples basically on the throttle body so that I could get a little bit of more turn. But from the throttle body, you can see it's connected up there. We've relocated the throttle body directly in front of the supercharger. We turn this 90-degree here on that Mishimoto down here. So that's a 90-degree turning off of the throttle. And then it's kind of hard to see down below these wires. Off of that 90-degree elbow, there is two outputs. One of them is this line here, which will eventually get probably redone off of a plastic elbow. But that's my idle control valve. It's looping around and under. You'd probably never be able to see it. You can just see the butt of it there. Down there is my idle control valve, and you can see that that's coming off of the turkey neck, off the back of the, there we go, if it'll focus. So what we're looking at down there is the turkey neck coming off the back of the intake with a vacuum line coming off of it and then going down to idle control, which is the back side of that unit right there. From there, it's going down around under the supercharger and coming up and going to that line there, that pipe, that silver elbow to that black pipe to right there. That's idle air control. And just below it, you can kind of see the wires plugging into it. But basically right down here, right there, is the air temperature sensor. So other than that, this is going to be a cold start. Drop my keys. But I'll let you guys see that this is, I'm first stepping in the car. Haven't done anything. And we will see. And we're going to have a traction control. Little cold start, real cold right now. Oh, forgot to turn the supercharger on. That helps, sorry. My supercharger, I wired my supercharger to go on a switch with my fog lights and my my halos, so I can actually turn my supercharger off and on. But as you'll see, other than traction control, which I got to take that bulb out or find a way to trick that off, but we have completely deleted the traction control throttle body, and we have no check engine light. She's ready to go. You know, she'll come into a little better. She warms up. We still have to do a little bit of fine tuning here and there, but you'll see she'll walk into idle pretty well as she warms up, and we'll get a drive here, a couple drive videos. But good oil pressure. We're under vacuum at any given time. I don't want to really give it any revs yet. It's super cold out here. It's just warming up, but the liquid moly's fine. Yeah. Other than that, she runs great. You can see that, we'll jump out here real quick. No like crazy, you know, no crazy smoke or fuel or anything like that. It's running really well. You hear it kind of, she's just ticking away.